YouTuber detective and the mystery of the lost likes. Chapter 1. Beginning of the investigation. Carrick sat in his room staring at the screen, trying to make sense of what was happening. The number of likes on his latest video, which he had worked so hard on, was inexplicably dropping by the minute. He rubbed his eyes, thinking it must be a mistake, but when he checked again, the number had decreased even more. He tried to think of what could be causing this, but he couldn't come up with an explanation. Was it a technical glitch on YouTube's part or something more sinister? Carrick decided to investigate the matter further, suspecting that someone might be behind the drop in likes. He went through the comments on his video, trying to find any clues that might lead him to the culprit. He noticed some strange comments from accounts he didn't recognize, leaving negative feedback on his video. It was then that he realized that someone might be trying to sabotage his channel. Carrick started to panic. His YouTube channel was his passion, and he had worked so hard to build it up. He couldn't let anyone ruin it. He knew he had to do something to get to the bottom of this. He took a deep breath, determined to find out what was going on. With his notebook and pen in hand, Carrick started to make a list of suspects. He knew that there were other YouTubers in his niche who were jealous of his success. He also suspected that some of his competitors might be using shady tactics to get ahead. But he couldn't be sure without evidence. Carrick realized that he needed help if he was going to solve this mystery. He contacted his best friend, David, who was a tech-savvy whiz kid. David promised to help Carrick uncover the truth behind the drop in likes. Together, Carrick and David would embark on an exciting adventure to uncover the mystery of the lost likes. They would face many challenges and obstacles, but they were determined to find out who was behind the sabotage of Carrick's channel. Chapter 2. Clues and suspects. Carrick and David sat in Carrick's room, surrounded by laptops, notebooks, and empty bags of chips. They had been up all night, trying to gather any clues that might lead them to the culprit. They had gone through every single comment on Carrick's video and all his social media accounts, but they hadn't found anything substantial yet. Carrick decided to take a break and check his messages. As he scrolled through his inbox, he noticed a message from one of his fans, Lily. The message read, "Hey Carrick, have you been receiving any strange messages lately? I've been getting some weird ones from accounts I don't recognize." Carrick was shocked. He didn't think that the hacker or the saboteur would go after his fans. He quickly messaged Lily back, asking for more details. Lily responded, telling him that she had received a message from an account named YouTuber123, which asked her to dislike Carrick's latest video. Carrick knew that this was serious. He decided to investigate this new lead and asked David to help him track down the user behind the YouTuber123 account. They traced the IP address and discovered that it belonged to one of Carrick's competitors, a YouTuber named Max. Carrick was devastated. He had thought that Max was his friend, but it seemed like he was jealous of Carrick's success and was willing to do anything to bring him down. Carrick and David decided to confront Max and get to the bottom of things. They messaged Max, pretending to be a fan, and asked him why he was trying to sabotage Carrick's channel. Max denied everything at first, but Carrick and David didn't give up. They presented the evidence they had gathered, and Max finally confessed. "I'm sorry," Max said. "I was jealous of your success. I couldn't stand seeing you do better than me. So, I decided to use shady tactics to bring you down." Carrick was disappointed, but he also felt relieved. He finally knew who was behind the drop in likes and the strange messages to his fans. He and David reported Max to YouTube, and his channel was suspended for violating the platform's policies. Carrick learned a valuable lesson that day. He realized that not everyone would be happy for his success and that he needed to be careful about who he trusted. He also learned that he needed to stay true to himself and his values, no matter what. Chapter 3. The mysterious hacker. Carrick had finally managed to recover the likes on his videos, but he soon realized that there was another problem. His videos were getting demonetized, and his revenue had taken a massive hit. He checked his account settings and noticed that someone had gained access to his channel and changed the monetization settings. Carrick felt violated. He had put a lot of effort into creating quality content for his audience, and now someone was sabotaging his channel. He knew he had to act fast and find out who was behind this. Carrick called his tech-savvy friend, Mike, who had helped him with some technical issues in the past. Mike was a hacker himself, and he had the skills and the knowledge to track down the perpetrator. Mike examined Carrick's channel and found traces of a sophisticated hacking technique called phishing. The hacker had sent an email to Carrick, pretending to be from YouTube's support team, asking him to verify his account by clicking on a link. Carrick had fallen for the trap and had unknowingly given the hacker access to his channel. Mike suggested that they try to bait the hacker into revealing his identity. They created a fake account and sent a message to the hacker, pretending to be a fellow hacker, asking for tips on how to hack YouTube channels. The hacker took the bait and replied, giving them some clues about his location and his modus operandi. Carrick and Mike used the clues to track down the hacker's IP address, and they found out that the hacker was based in a different country. They contacted the local authorities, who arrested the hacker and confiscated his equipment. Carrick was relieved that the hacker had been caught, but he was also worried that his channel might have suffered irreparable damage. He decided to take a break from creating videos and focus on rebuilding his channel's reputation. Carrick learned a valuable lesson that day. He realized that hackers could use sophisticated techniques to gain access to his channel, and he needed to be more vigilant in the future. He also learned the importance of having a tech-savvy friend who could help him in times of crisis. Chapter 4, Uncovering the plot. Carrick and Mike had managed to identify and catch the hacker who had hacked Carrick's YouTube channel. However, they still had one more mystery to solve: who was behind the hacker, and why were they trying to ruin Carrick's channel? They started digging deeper into the hacker's online activities and discovered that he had been in contact with one of Carrick's competitors, a YouTuber who had a similar channel to Carrick's. They found some suspicious messages that suggested that the competitor had paid the hacker to hack Carrick's channel and sabotage his videos. Carrick was shocked and angry. He had always considered himself a fair player and had never resorted to dirty tactics to get ahead. He decided that he needed to confront his competitor and get to the bottom of this. Carrick and Mike came up with a plan. They created a fake email account and sent a message to the competitor, posing as a fan who was interested in hiring the hacker to sabotage Carrick's channel. The competitor took the bait and replied, revealing his involvement in the plot. Carrick was livid. He decided to confront the competitor in person and arranged a meeting at a local coffee shop. He brought Mike along for support and to act as a witness. At the coffee shop, Carrick confronted the competitor, who initially denied any involvement. However, when Carrick showed him the evidence, the competitor broke down and confessed to everything. He revealed that he had been jealous of Carrick's success and wanted to bring him down. Carrick was disappointed but not surprised. He knew that jealousy and competition were part and parcel of the YouTube world, but he never expected someone to go to such lengths to sabotage his channel. Carrick and Mike reported the incident to YouTube, who took action against the competitor and banned him from the platform. Carrick's channel eventually recovered, but he learned a valuable lesson about the importance of trust and transparency in the world of YouTube. From that day on, Carrick focused on creating quality content and building genuine relationships with his fans and fellow YouTubers. He knew that the world of YouTube could be cutthroat, but he was determined to rise above it and stay true to himself. Chapter 5, The Showdown. Carrick and Mike had finally caught the hacker who had been sabotaging Carrick's YouTube channel. They had gathered enough evidence to confront him and his accomplice, who turned out to be one of Carrick's competitors. The meeting was set up in a public place, a local park where many people were around. The hacker and his accomplice arrived, unaware that they were about to be confronted. Carrick and Mike approached them and showed them the evidence they had collected. The hacker initially denied any involvement, but when Carrick presented him with the proof, he broke down and admitted everything. He revealed that he had been jealous of Carrick's success and wanted to bring him down. Carrick was stunned. He had always known that the world of YouTube could be competitive, but he never expected someone to resort to hacking and sabotage to get ahead. He felt angry and betrayed, but he also felt sorry for the hacker. He knew that jealousy and envy could be powerful emotions, and he could relate to feeling that way at times. The accomplice, Carrick's competitor, tried to defend himself, but Carrick wasn't having any of it. He knew that the competitor had played a role in the plot, and he wanted him to take responsibility for his actions. The situation quickly escalated into a heated argument, with both sides shouting and accusing each other of wrongdoing. Mike stepped in and tried to calm things down, but it was no use. The tension was too high, and it seemed like the situation was about to turn violent. Just when things were about to get out of hand, a group of bystanders intervened. They had been watching the whole situation unfold and had heard Carrick's story. They sympathized with him and wanted to help. The bystanders formed a barrier between Carrick and his friends and the hacker and his accomplice, effectively diffusing the situation. They urged both sides to talk things out calmly and find a way to resolve the issue. After a few moments of silence, the hacker spoke up. He apologized for his actions and promised to never do anything like that again. Carrick accepted his apology, but he made it clear that what the hacker had done was not okay. The situation ended on a somewhat positive note, with both sides agreeing to move on and learn from their mistakes. Carrick and Mike went home, exhausted but relieved that the situation had been resolved. In the weeks that followed, Carrick focused on rebuilding his YouTube channel and creating quality content that his fans would love. He also made a conscious effort to be more open and honest with his fans and fellow YouTubers, knowing that trust was essential in the world of YouTube. The hacker, meanwhile, disappeared from the YouTube scene, but Carrick couldn't help but wonder what had happened to him. He hoped that the hacker had learned his lesson and had moved on to more positive pursuits. Chapter 6. The aftermath. Carrick and his friend feel a sense of relief as they watch the hacker being taken away by the police. However, they know that there is still work to be done to repair the damage that was done to Carrick's channel. Over the next few days, Carrick and his friend work tirelessly to remove all of the hacker's malicious code from Carrick's channel. They also take additional security measures to ensure that no one else will be able to hack the channel again. Slowly but surely, Carrick's channel starts to recover. His subscribers return, and his videos start to receive more likes and views. Carrick is grateful for the support of his fans and for the help of his friend throughout this difficult time. As things start to return to normal, Carrick reflects on the lessons he's learned from this experience. He realizes that being true to himself and creating content that he's passionate about is more important than anything else. He also understands the importance of online security and will take steps to protect his channel and personal information in the future. In the end, Carrick emerges from this ordeal stronger and more determined than ever to continue making great content for his fans. He's learned the hard way that success on YouTube doesn't come without its challenges, but he's ready to face whatever comes his way with the support of his friends and subscribers.